Today we are tackling a little project with a lot of potential. This 8-sided mirror was outdated and did not go with our recent renovation. With some inspiration and paint, I think we can turn it into a focal piece. Hi, I'm Jacqueline. Welcome to my channel. I've already cleaned it with some Fusion TSP, and now I'm going to use some Ultra Grip. Because it's like a plasticky material, you need to give it some tooth before you paint it. So I'm going to apply some Ultra Grip, let it dry, and then after 12 hours I'll come back and start painting. So I'm just using a foam brush. You could probably use a chippy brush if you want. Just make sure that there are no bristles that get loose. It's best to put one thin coat, and if you need to, you can add a second coat. Let that dry. So the first color I'm going to use is Sandy Blonde. And this is going to be my base coat. Wet my brush a little bit. I'm not concerned with brush strokes because I really want this to have a little bit of a texture to it. I'll show you my inspiration photo shortly. As you can see, this paint dries fairly quickly. I have a little bit of blue in my brush from the sample boards I was working on earlier. That's okay because it's gonna fit right in. Next, I'm going to go in with Prairie Gray. I'll show you the inspirational photo. I don't know how well you'll see this, but my daughter took this photo on one of her hiking excursions, and I love the look of the wall. So now I'm going to just lightly mist where I want to do some painting. Now I'm going to concentrate more on the edges, just to add a little bit of depth there. And I'm not concerned if I get any paint on the mirror. It'll come off easily. So when the paint drags, just give it a light mist. I'm going to start introducing my blues. So I'm just going to use my heat gun and just dry the paint a little bit. I have it set at a low temperature. So as you can see, because this is a clay and a chalk paint, it dries very light. But you'll see once we wet it and eventually seal it, the color comes right back. Now I'm going to use my Hey Sailor. It's a nice blue. So again, I'm going to concentrate on the edges for now. Just going to remove some of the brown off my brush. Now I'm going to just add little streaks of this blue. So you can see I'm not dipping my brush very deep into the container. Okay, so the first layer, the blue. This Debi's Design Diary paint is so nice to work with. Okay, so this is Water Lily. This will be my next layer. Okay, I'll just start building some more layers on here. So I'm hoping when it's all done, it will have the effect of layers of rock in a waterfall. You see, I don't want it to look the same anywhere, so it's all unique. Every layer will be unique. Now I'm going to go back with the Prairie Gray. I'm going to use this new brush. Again, it's from Paint Pixie. It's a little B as in Bob. This one's synthetic. Will be first time to use this one. Add it a little bit. Okay. So now I'm just going to reintroduce some streaks on top of the blue. So just using a light hand. Just to break up the blue a little bit. I'm going to put some in the center as well. Just kind of create like a darker ridge. See, I'm taking my time on this layer. Now I'm going to come back with a little bit of the sandy blonde. Just that I'm going to slightly mist it. It's all about the layers. I'm getting the look that I was hoping for. I'm going to let that dry overnight. Okay. The next step I'm going to take is I'm going to add a little bit of little black dress, which is a nice black. And it's just going to add a little bit more depth to my mirror. Again, just to remind you, this is my inspirational photo. So I'm just trying to capture some of the layers in this rockery. What I'm going to use this time is a little, tiny little palette knife. I've had this for a while, so it doesn't tell me what number it is, but it's very, very tiny. And I'm going to also use my water spritzing bottle to make the water, the black drip down. So I'm going to do section by section. Now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to mist the section I'm going to apply it to. And with the DIY paint, with the water, it just reactivates the paint. So, okay. So I'm just going to make them like little markings. A little bit more in the center. Just the hardware and the light fixture in that bathroom is black. So I think the black in the center will just add to it. So just random lines. You'll see what the water does. It's just magical to me anyway. Okay. I think that's good for now. I can always go in and add more. And then I'm going to spritz it again. And this time, I'm going to actually lift the mirror and let the paint run. So it's just gonna drip. And I can hit it again. Hopefully you can see that. Now, this is a very heavy mirror, so depending on the piece you're working on, this might be tricky, but if you're working on a dresser, you can turn the dresser on its side. And I'm just going to flip it and just go back the other way. And just squirts it again. Okay, so that's what, if you can see that, that's what it looks like at the moment. Really like this. Okay, I'm going to carry on. Okay, I'll lift it up again. It's such a heavy mirror. Whatever areas are just a little bit too dark for me, I'll just hit it again with some water. Yeah. With the dark color, it helps to break the blue a little bit. Okay. I think with the dark color, it gives it a weathered look as well. when it's all dry, I'll need to go and touch up some of the edges where my fingers went on the wet sections. Okay, I like this. Oh, hope you can see that. Okay. Oh, one more time. And once I take the paper off, I'll go back in and just touch up some of the edges if it's still bare. But I think I got pretty good coverage. We'll see. One more time. Just love the way it automatically creates shadows in the crevices with the paint running down. Okay, we're going to let that dry. So here I am, just adding a little bit of the mermaid's tail. Again, I'm using my little palette knife and just running it across. I'm just going to let that dry, and then I'm going to seal it. Now for the finishing touch. I'm going to be using the Fusion Mineral Paint Beeswax finish. It has hemp oil and beeswax. It's going to protect the paint on the mirror. So what I'm going to do is, I don't typically dip my brush into the wax because I don't want to contaminate it. So I usually just rub a little bit with one of my palette knives and just put it on a lid, clean lid. And I'm going to be using this Staalmeester Series 3600-20. I'm just going to apply a little bit. You're going to see the difference it makes. Just working in my brush. And here we go. And really doesn't matter what direction, in which direction you're applying the wax. You can swirl it, or just do this. So what I'm going to do is, once this is dry, like after 30 minutes, I'll come back and I'm going to buff it. But see the difference between the waxed area and the area that isn't waxed? I don't know if you can see that on here, but you'll see it in a bit. It just brings the colors back to life. So vibrant, so nice. Easy to apply. I believe this Fusion's beeswax and hemp oil is food safe. Not that we're going to eat off this mirror, but it's just good to know. Oh, wow. I'll bring this closer. You can see it. Oops. Make sure I get my sides. I'm just going to lift this up, see if you can, just to make sure that you can see the difference. Here. So this is the two sides that have been waxed. I certainly didn't pick a light piece to demonstrate on, but well, and now you can see the side that hasn't been waxed as of yet. So it just makes such a big difference. Okay. Now, I've decided to add some white wax. This bathroom is going to be used by children, so I thought it needed to be just a little bit brighter. So I have already prepared it on the one side. So I'm going to show you. So this side is darker, and you can see it doesn't have any of the white wax. And this other side has the white wax on it. So you can see there's a slight difference. It's much brighter now. It's not as dark as this side. So all I'm using today is Debi's Design Diary white wax. And I'm going to use my waxing brush, dip it in here, and just tap on my shop towel, just to remove a little bit of it. And I'm just going to rub it right on. Now, if you remember, I already applied clear wax on the mirror. So it'll help me remove some of the white wax where I don't want it. Or what I want to do is I just want to highlight some of the blue. So I will remove some of the white wax. And this wax goes on so smoothly. Really nice to work with. I'm just going to take a rag and remove some of the white wax. I want this blue to show up just a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of this white wax. It just gives a piece a different look, a lighter look. There we go. Now I am done. I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then I will come in and just give it a nice buff with the Dixie Paint buff brush. And I'll just give it a nice little shine. I hope that you enjoyed today's tutorial and that you will like, share, and subscribe if you haven't. And I would love to read your comment.